Assalamu alaikum dear students. In our previous lectures delivered through Zoom app, we discussed the various stages of statistical study, and the very first stage of statistical study is the collection of data. We also studied there the basic concept of the various types of statistical data, that is the primary data and secondary data, and the difference between primary and secondary data. As we already discussed, that the primary data are those which are collected for the first time and are thus original in character. These data are in the shape of raw materials to which statistical methods are applied for the purpose of analysis and interpretation. Now in this video lecture, we are going to discuss the various methods of collecting the primary data. Dear students, primary data may be obtained using any of the methods mentioned in this slide, and the various methods of collecting primary data are direct personal investigation method, indirect oral investigation method, information from local sources or correspondents, mailed questionnaire method, and questionnaire sent through enumerators. Now, dear students, let us discuss these mentioned methods one by one in detail. Firstly, the direct personal investigation method. In direct personal investigation method, as the name itself suggests, the investigator has to collect the information personally from the sources concerned. In this method, the investigator collects data by having direct contact or face-to-face approach with all the informants. And who are informants? Informants are the persons from whom the information is to be obtained, and the person who collects the data for his or her statistical investigation is called investigator. For example, if a person wants to collect data about the economic conditions of the workers of any factory, he would go to the factory, contact the workers, and obtain the desired information. Students, this method, that is the direct personal investigation method of collecting primary data, is suitable when the field of investigation is limited. That is, the field of investigation is not very large, as this method involves enormous costs and usually requires a long time, and when a greater degree of originality of data is required. Students, under this method, the data may be collected either through interview with the persons concerned or through observation of the data on the spot. Okay. Now coming to the merits and demerits of direct personal investigation method. The direct personal investigation method have various merits, like the information obtained by this method is likely to be more original, more reliable, and more accurate, because the interviewer can clear up doubts of the informants about certain questions and thus obtain correct information. It's also possible through personal interview to collect supplementary information about the informant's personal characteristics, and such information often proves very useful while interpreting results. Students, by using this method, the language of communication can be adjusted to the status and educational level of persons interviewed, thus avoiding misinterpretation on the part of the informants. Now the limitations or the demerits of direct personal investigation method. This direct personal investigation method also suffers from various limitations, like it may be very costly where the number of persons to be interviewed is large and they are spread over a wide area. Hence, this method is not suitable when the field of investigation is very vast. Under this method, the chances of personal bias of the investigator are greater as compared to other methods, and as such, the data may lose their credibility. The interviewers under this method have to be thoroughly trained and supervised, otherwise, they may not be able to obtain the desired information. Untrained or poorly trained investigators may spoil the entire work. Students, by using this method, more time is required for collecting information as compared to other methods. Now coming to the other method of collecting primary data, which is indirect oral investigation method. Students, when the direct personal investigation method cannot be used either on account of the reluctance of persons to give necessary information when approached directly or on account of the extensive scope of inquiry. That is when the field of investigation is very large. Then in such case an indirect oral examination can be conducted. In this method, data are not collected directly from the persons concerned but through indirect sources. Here in this method, the investigator, instead of directly approaching to the informants, contact third parties who are known as witnesses, who are capable of supplying the necessary information. For example, in an inquiry regarding addiction to drugs, alcohol, etc., people may be reluctant to supply information about their own habits. It would be necessary in that case to get the desired information from those dealing in drugs, dealing in liquor, or those people who may be knowing them, for example, their neighbors, friends, etc. Another one example is also given in this slide that this method can also be used by police departments for clues about thefts and murders. Students, this method, that is the indirect oral investigation method of data collection, is suitable when the field of investigation is very large, when it is not possible to have direct contact with the informants, and when the concerned informants are not capable of giving the necessary information. These are the listed suitability of indirect oral investigation method. Now coming to the merits of this method can be applied even when the field of investigation is very large, which is not the case in case of direct personal investigation method, as the direct personal investigation method can be applied only when the field of investigation is very limited. But this indirect oral investigation method can be applied even when the field of investigation is very large. This method is relatively less expensive as compared to direct personal investigation method. Using this method, an investigator can seek opinion of the experts and thereby can make his information more reliable. This method is relatively a simple approach of data collection and free from the personal bias of the investigator. Now the demerits of this direct personal investigation method. This method also suffers from various demerits or limitations, like the data collected by this method are relatively less accurate because the information is obtained from persons other than the concerned informants. Students, under this method, there is possibility of personal bias of the witnesses giving information. Sometimes this method may lead to doubtful conclusions due to carelessness of the witnesses. So these are some of the merits and demerits of this indirect oral investigation method. Now coming to another important method of collecting primary data, which is the information from local sources or correspondents. Students, in this method, the investigator does not collect information directly from the respondents, but he appoints different correspondents or agents for collecting the information from different respondents in their allotted territory. After collecting the information, the agents will transmit that information to the main investigator as and when required. Newspaper and magazine agencies, news broadcasting agencies generally adopt this method, that is the information collected from local sources or correspondents. This method is also adopted by various departments of government in such cases where regular information is to be collected from a wide area. For example, in the construction of wholesale price index numbers, regular information is obtained from correspondents appointed in different areas. Now coming to the suitability of this method. Students, this method is suitable when regular and continuous information is needed, when the area of investigation is very large and when a very high degree of accuracy of data is not required. Obviously, such data cannot be very reliable, and as such, this method is used in those cases where the purpose of investigation can be served with rough estimates only and where a high degree of precision is not necessary. Now, the merits of this method have various merits or advantages, like this method is quite economical in terms of time, in terms of money, or in terms of efforts involved. This method allows a fairly wide coverage of investigation. This method has the merit of continuity as the correspondents keep on supplying almost regular information. This method is particularly suitable for some special purpose investigations. For example, price quotations from different markets for the construction of index numbers. Now, coming to the demerits of this method, students, this method also suffers from various limitations, like there is loss of originality of data due to lack of personal contact with the respondents. As the data is collected by a number of respondents, the data obtained or collected through this method suffers from the lack of uniformity. There could also be the personal bias of the correspondents who collect this data from the area of investigation. And another important limitation or demerit of this method is that the data collected through this method are not very accurate and there can be the delay in the collection of information. So dear students, in this video lecture, we discussed about the three important methods of collecting primary data. That is direct personal investigation method, indirect oral investigation method, and information through local sources or correspondents. In our next video lecture, inshallah, we will discuss one more important method of collecting primary data which we could not cover in this video lecture, and that method is questionnaire method of collecting primary data. There we will also discuss the two different ways of collecting information on the basis of questionnaire, and we will also learn how to draft a good questionnaire. Thank you, dear students.